Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it, you know, it says that the town was willing to address it, given that you would address the lawn. I mean, that's what I'm reading here.
Yeah, it's hard to understand because you don't know whether they're saying the town was, we're going to fix it for the town, but, basically, why would we get diesel equipment? I mean, you need diesel equipment to do this unless I don't know shit,
Right, right.
which I don't, and I
Yeah,
don't,
so I guess what I can tell you is that, this isn't any structure owned by the state. Has anything to do with our state drainage. Um, so either at some point the landowner put in a culvert here, or the
how,
town put in a culvert here. I have
a
no.
landowner, why would a landowner put it from up on that street? That's no landowner. That's School Street up there. It goes all the way down here, a tenth of a mile.
Well, I can't. I can't guarantee what a landowner would do. I have no
Oh,
idea.
no,
That's
be
not
reasonable. Be reasonable.
okay. If it was my property,
You would
and
spend $25,000 to put a pipe
and
in.
if there was a ditch here that was always water, and I wanted my lawn to be built, maybe that was
I
could
don't
be
buy
something.
it. I don't buy it. Come on, be reasonable. That's obscene. I mean, maybe a Martian came down and just threw it in, and no one's
No, I'm
responsible.
not saying the property owner did. I'm saying potentially that could have happened. My guess is, at one point, the town probably put the culvert in here.
Well,
That's
it
my
pretty much
assumption.
confirms it in that discussion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So,
Why wouldn't have they said then it's not our problem? They're saying we're willing to fix it.
right. I can tell you one thing that I do know for sure, that it's not V-Trans's culvert.
Okay, so whose is it?
I would assume it's either the town's or, like I said, a property owner. More than likely, the town put this drainage in.
I don't buy the property owner. That's absurd. I can't buy
Well,
it.
that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just giving you what I've seen around in the past. So I'm not sure what it is that you would like us to do from the state.
Well, if you can't do anything, find me a reference that can. I mean, you're in the state. Who? Who can I get? That's what, I need some type of help here. I mean, I'm going to bring him a small claims court,
Yeah.
for the money. And we're going to call our lawyer. Fuck your lawyer. Everyone thinks they call a lawyer, they're going to win. And, I mean, I've won a lot, I fight good in court. I win all the time. Big, just because I know how to gather evidence. I don't know shit about law, but if you can gather enough evidence, you can convince a judge.
Right.
They'll overlook that you're not a lawyer because it is the law
Yeah.
to defend yourself, pro se,
So we are responsible, obviously, for the drainage within the highway right away, right?
Yeah, it goes under there, and that's under the highway, so why doesn't that work?
Because this is not within the highway right away.
It's the same pipe. It's the same pipe. It goes all the way across the street.
Someone obviously tied into our drainage at one point down the line, and we can't control that.
But you don't know, you can't confirm that, though.
I can't confirm it, yay or nay, right? So I have no idea.
You said somebody obviously hooked into your system, right?
Somebody obviously at one point tied into our drainage system.
And how do you know that?
Because we never put this pipe in.
Because I can see where it's tied into our drainage system.
All right.
So I've looked at the record plans, and I've tried to look at if there's any easements or anything for this, and I can't find anything within the district that we have of evidence that the state did this.
Yeah, I agree on one thing, the town did it. But I don't know municipal law. I don't know how what you say ties in, what that means, and what other implications of laws and whatever they have, to work with that. But
Well, they put in this drainage, and what I mean by tying in, somebody put in this drainage, likely the town, right? And once they got to the road, they have to do something with it, right?
well, and they have to do it with you, though, right? Can they just do
By-
that without?
by-
We're going to hook in. You know what I mean?
By law, okay, they have to call us and get a permit to work within our right of way and to alter anything that has to do with our drainage.
Okay, so could you get access to that?
I have no record of any permit that I know of. I can look again that has anything to do with this drainage all through here tying into our drainage system.
Okay,
I
but
don't have
they,
any record of that.
and they're supposed to, so they could be in non-compliance of some laws.
Could
Since you, as far as you know, are you positive there was never a permit?
I can't positively say
Okay,
that.
you just assuming that, right?
Yeah. This is so far out of our right of way that we would have the state would have no interest in wanting to install a culvert through here. You know what I'm saying? And you probably understand that. I mean,
Yeah,
what
that's a
interest
bit-
would that serve us? It would serve us none. We would take care of it right at the road. If there was water coming through here, we would take the water from there, put a culvert in or whatever, and put it under the road and send it. We have no interest up here.
Right, right.
So it to me, it's in anything imaginable. I cannot ever imagine the state having anything to do with putting this drainage in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, the fight, if you will, for lack of a better term, is between whoever's property this is on and the town of Newport Center. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, I'll look around. The endangerment to children got the attention of the governor's office. They gave it to you. It trickled down. They took it very serious. I guarantee if I look hard enough, I'll go with that angle there that, and you know, it's negligence to endanger children by not fixing a pipe next 10 feet, 15 feet away from children while they play.
Right.
But there's something to think about too, Barry. Is who's to say that this person didn't put a culvert to here to do the ditch, and then this person did this person?
No. These people are poor around here. They don't have the $10,000. How much does it cost to put in a pipe?
Put that to there? Not very much.
How much? 5,000 minimum, right?
I mean, I think all that's a moot point.
Yeah, you know, you're looking for, you know, to me, you're looking for an argument. You tell me something like that, I don't buy it. You know, look at the reality of it. This is a town's pipe. It needs to be fixed. They haven't fixed it, and it's in danger. It's dangerous, and you don't have the jurisdiction to do it. So please don't give me excuses that there may have been and this and that, because then we get an argument. Unless you got solid, you know, I work on, you know, that's how you know, I've been to court many times. That's how I win. Just sticking with facts, you know. Well, it might have been, you know, you go into court and say that, they go, conjecture. They don't want to hear it.
Right.
If you can't speak on it solidly, say you don't know. You know, I mean, you can't, you know, that would get...
Well, I've pulled, so what I can tell you I have done is I pulled the record plans that I have available to me at the district in this area, and it shows nothing of this on those plans. Okay?
Right.
The same plans that I'm talking about up the road show an easement that the state bought in order to continue drainage through someone's property. Okay, so that same plan shows that, but it doesn't show anything through here. So I have no record of anything done here by the state of Vermont.
I understand. Well, that, you know, that's positive. That's what I like to hear. So, you know, it's not your responsibility. It's someone else's, and you've confirmed that. And you've also confirmed they never got permits to hook into your line.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of, and you were aware of all of that stuff up there. I'm assuming you would have been aware if they had permission and permits to tie into that over there.
Yeah, and what I can do, I looked on the record plans, like for when this was all constructed and stuff. What I can do is look at our permit database and just validate that there was never any permit to do this work and tie into our system. I can do that when I get back to the office.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that, because that gives me something to work with.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
I'm not trying to argue with you. You
No,
asked
no.
us to come out here and for us to give you our opinion, and that's what we're giving. So
Sure.
I wouldn't call it an argument. I'd call it more of just
It's a discussion, you know. I mean,
talking through what's
like
here.
I said, I don't like you know, the conjecture thing. It may have been, you know, that to me, I'm not arguing. It's just I don't accept that. You know, I need to, you know, I mean,
That's fine.
you know, because
Absolutely.
it does me no good, and you know, it just, you know, like with that permit thing, that's beautiful. That's either, you know, you can find a positive in that. no record of it, or there is a record of it. You know what I mean? That would be nice. And
What I also can do, and I respect your opinion on it, and that, you know, we all have our own opinion. I can look at the permits and validate that for you, and I can give you the contact information for people in right-of-way that deal with any sort of property acquisitions and easements, and see if they have any record of anything done through here.
great, great. I'd appreciate that, because, you know, I mean, I don't know shit about municipal. I know, you know, I'm just getting involved with the select board for a few years, and I learned a lot of open meeting laws and how to. That's a nightmare. The whole country has got select boards. They don't want to accept you know, the new laws. You know, so it's like a constant struggle. You know.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, the problem with however this stuff all gets done over the years, if there's not, you know, nowadays everything we do is documented, right? Whether it be
Sure.
maintenance agreements, finance and maintenance agreements, all that. So it's all spelled out. When something like this happens, it's black and white. You know who's responsible for what. Years and years ago,
There was nothing. I know.
a lot of things just got done by the goodness of people's heart and a handshake.
Yeah.
Hey, we have no way to get rid of the drainage up here, and we need to get it down through there. They talked to whoever lived here. Absolutely, do whatever you got to do. And then they came and probably talked to somebody from the state, and somebody from the state could have said, yeah, no, you got to get rid of the water, go ahead.
Yeah,
You know,
shake hands, shake. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
and that does us no good at this point. So,
Yeah. Well, my deal is, this grew from this big to that big since January of 2018. So how big is it going to grow from this size in 2 years? You can see it's still eroding on the edges, and be careful. I fell in right doing what you're doing on the edge. I mean, I don't see a hole in it, but you know, like, I'm not claiming to know anything.
Probably underneath it's probably right underneath the band.
Yeah, but did you see the video I sent of it? The water shooting out of the ground. I mean, there's some serious pressure there, so that tells me.
But there's a lot of head pressure from that just down the hill too. I mean,
according to the town guy, he says it's coming from there, backing up into here. Not from. It comes from there too, but he said this is the main cause of it, and he's pretty good, you know. But you don't believe it. I know. I don't know who to believe.
he's saying it's coming from there.
Yep, coming from the pond, backing up and coming into here. That's his explanation. When the pond gets overflowed, big storm. And you know,
Well, I can tell you one thing, okay? Hydraulics, physics, whatever you want to call it, would tell me that that water at that outlet would have to reach this elevation to push the water all the way back up to here, right?
yep, and it's gone higher than the street at points in the last few storms. So there you go.
The beaver pond down there has gone over the road here.
Yeah. They had I think a couple of storms ago, within a year and a half, they had to shut the road down.
Okay.
Now I'm only going by what was told me, you know. And you know, I thought it's odd too. I figured for sure it'd get loaded up and come down here. There's a pond up there too, disconnected. So.
Well, likely it's a combination of it all.
Yeah, it must be. You know, I don't know much, but to see that pressure pushing the water up this high. I mean, that's a lot of pressure the way I see it. You know, I mean, it was because the water was spreading out, so it was overwhelming the pressure of just it spreading out normally, you know?
Yeah, and what's happened is there's obviously a hole somewhere in that band or that culvert. What happens when all that water comes in there, it actually takes the soil around it and sucks it in through the culvert and out.
Yeah.
That's what creates the sinkhole.
Right. Erosion, you know?
Yeah, it pulls the material around the pipe and sends it out the culvert is what happens. It's, you know, what they need to do, this is my opinion, what I'd do with it if it was something that was within our state highway, we'd dig this thing back, possibly cut the pipe and band in a new piece, or we would have to replace the whole thing. Clearly, because it goes so far, it'd be advantageous for the town just to fix this section.
Right.
Dig it back, cut it, put in a new piece of pipe, bury it, and be done with it. But
Well, that's
Not up
good.
to me.
That's good. They'll hear this. I'll make sure they hear this. You know, that's a good suggestion. And the town is reluctant to do anything that will increase their taxes. They, you know, like we have an ongoing thing about the water system. None of them are on the water system. So, you know, the select board, you know, Elliot Aldrich, who were tremendous high pressure salesmen, come in and ask for something for 5 times the price of it, what they paid a few years ago. Oh yeah, sure, Elliot, thank you. You know,
Yeah.
they'll sign anything. Because
Yeah.
they feel like they're entrepreneurs, you know, they're talking with the tech guys, you know.
Yeah.
Where I come from, you know, they would just be the lowest rung of engineer. And I'm not insulting them, but, you know, that some,
Yeah.
you know, they're just, you know, like I'm talking, I lived a few miles away from MIT. You want to talk about engineering?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Rocket science.
Right.
So, you know, these are just low-level professionals, so first level.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a professional musician. I've done a lot of shit, and you know, there's the lowest level of that is called general business. They work at weddings, and I did that too for money. But you know, there's other higher ends, higher intellectual parts of music and composition and jazz, and you know, so you know, that's the real deal to me.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not putting anyone down on a lower level of professional. It happens. People, they serve a purpose. They do things. They're not, you know, rocket science, but, you know, I mean, you know, it just overwhelms me how, you know, because we're in a small area and there's not a whole lot of talent in this area. We all know that on all levels of professionalism, and they're you know, they call them the players. Imagine that they say, oh, the players came, you know, it's, you know, I mean, the players, okay, you know, yeah, they're playing you. They put any contract in front of them and they sign it, you know.
Yeah.
They won't even ask the details. They all sit there with a contract and look at it. I know they're not even reading it. And then they sign it. You know, they look at a contract that would take me, you know, an hour or two to really dig into it, and they look at it, oh yeah, okay, aye. They're going to hear this. They're going to hate me, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
They already do. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I'm interested in this. You know, if you want to leave what you've done, or if there's any other thoughts you might have that you want to let me record, would be nice. But I can see your point. I believe, you know, I mean, you're not, you can't do anything about it if it is not within your jurisdiction. I buy that. Makes sense.
Yeah, I can't just tell Eric go haul the excavator up here and start tracking across people's yards and digging stuff up. I mean,
Believe
don't
me,
have the right to do that.
these two would get serious problems. This one over here is water up to the floor, you know, and sump pump going all the time, and he's in tough shape.
Yeah.
And this one too. I don't really know him, but I know they, you know, you saw the water. You can imagine what's going into their cellars. You know.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I'm up above it all.
Yeah,
know,
right.
so
You're high and dry.
thank God, you know. I mean, I have a sump pump, and I get a little tiny bit of water, and it gets damp, and it just.
Well, if there was something we could do physically, we
No, if
do
you
our
can,
part, but
well,
it's-
if you can get those the information on the permits and stuff. I mean, I can work. You know, I'm good at getting on the state level and talking to people. That would give me. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'd figure it out where I could take it to. I mean, you know.
That's the best I can do for you. And I'll give you our right-of-way folks information.
Yeah.
Also have records of stuff that's done in the past. I honestly would be surprised if they found something here, but I could be wrong.
Found something. What do you mean?
Some sort of an agreement or something for this particular location.
Well, like
you never know.
Yeah, I hope so. The lack thereof will help me out, you know, because maybe that'll get somebody on the state level to say, well, you know.
I can tell you one thing: if someone deems it the state's responsibility, we would fix it ASAP. I can guarantee you that.
Well, you're the man who would do that. Who else would do it, you know?
Now, if it's not the state's responsibility, which I don't believe it is, how you get to town, force them to do it, that's beyond me. I wish I could help you. But.
Well, no, I can take care of that one. Don't worry about it. I mean, But
yeah, I will. As soon as I get back, I will take a look in my records, and I will give you the right-of-way guy's info. And
Great.
that's, you know, that's what I can offer you.
That'll be good. That'll be fine. I
Hopefully.
would appreciate that. At least
Better than nothing.
it's solid. It's solid documentation or lack of documentation, and right there is positive. Either way, it's rock solid. You know, I mean, that's what I like. You know, so I can go somewhere with it.
Well, at least we'll do
you
what
know,
we can. We work for the taxpayers, and you're a taxpayer, so I'll do my part.
yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sorry we got I got a little heated
That's
up.
all right.
You know what I mean?
That's all right. Everybody's got their opinion, right?
Yeah, that's right. You know. Yeah.
We respect it.
At least this put me at ease anyway. This
Right.
these, I mean, no kids ain't gonna fall in there. You know.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's...
And I'll get
All
my,
right. I got your email, and I'll
right. I appreciate.
I'll get right back to you. I got another quick meeting I got to do, and I should be back to the office around noon. You should see something around 1 o'clock, I would say.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right, sir? If we weren't in the scenario we were, I'd shake your hand. But
That's right. We know better than that.
yeah, we
I
might.
think I'm right here.
All right.
So
We'll
long.
talk to you later.
Yep.